Jeanne Reuter, that's the queen of Kirkwood. She loves telling you about Kirkwood. I'm just telling you, man, you want to hear about Kirkwood? You think you're hearing stuff from me? Sit down with 45 minutes with Jeanne Reuter and you will know the history and the heritage.
I'm Jeanne Reuter. My husband Dick and I drove over from where he worked as mountain manager at Squaw Valley. He moved over first in August of 1972. We moved into the Fremont house at Christmas time of 1972. Before we left, we had been sleeping on the floor in the part that was the dining room, and it was so cold that Dick got permission from the owner to cut a little hole in the ceiling, and he got out his camping stove. It's just a little square stove, and we put kindling in it. And we were all in our sleeping bags on the floor around this little stove for a short time. And then the next fall, we found out that Norm Rupp and his wife had almost finished building a log house there on Dangberg, and they offered it to the ski resort to be used for employee housing if it was needed. And my husband was an employee, so he got to rent the house, and that moved us. My mom was helping, and we were parading down Fremont with all our stuff, taking it to the other house. So we rented that house for a year. At the end of the first year, we bought it. That's when we started living there. We stayed there for 50 years, well, 49 years, because we had the other year in Fremont.
But she literally was the glue to everybody out here, and she was the glue to the Reuter family. She was Dick's support. She kept the Reuter family together, 4 wild kids living in a resort, starting from scratch. She was also the place that a lot of the families went to when things were tough out here. She was the person that would share the venison when they went out and they caught their bucks out here. But she also was the community contact for the school. She's one of the original founders of the Kirkwood Ski Education Foundation, KSEF. She was the school bus driver. She was the teacher. She was the glue.
We visited the superintendent in Amador County and asked for help. We wanted some way for the children to be able to go to school. We talked him into providing us with a mobile classroom, and he did. He set up a kind of a trailer thing that was all arranged as a classroom with bathrooms and kitchen sink and so on. It was great. We started out with just 5 children, and very soon more kids came. Some of the employees wanted to have their children go to school there while they came for work. So we ended up with a pretty good number of children there, and they were all different grades. It was all spread out. They worked really well together. It worked out just fine. I made different lesson plans for them, but they also did things together. When we went out to play baseball, the big kids helped the little kids. It took us a while to get used to the really deep snow. We all got cross-country ski equipment from the cross-country center, so we could go out at recess and play with our skis on. We sometimes used our cross-country skis to get down to the mobile classroom. In fact, one day the snow fell so fast while we were in the classroom that it made it impossible for us to open the door. I had actually dug a tunnel by opening one of the windows. We extended it so that whenever I called for a fire drill, the kids would get on their boots and go through the tunnel to get out of the school. But the day that the door was shut, I asked Eric, because he was the oldest there, to push on the door until he could start scooping the snow, put it in the sink, and get the door open for us.
Kirkwood wouldn't be Kirkwood without Jeanne Reuter. You would see her every day walking down the road to get her mail. You'd see her every day out on the mountain. She's still skiing every day, and she's fast. She loves Conestoga, and she loves buckboard. Those are her 2 favorite trails right there. Probably because the route's named after the Reuter family, or Dick Reuter. You'll see her commonly out here riding the route, and I don't imagine this winter's gonna be any different. But when you see her, stop and say hi.